Iko Nini. So kuna hii post nilibaki nimecheki. Hii post ilikuwa from the former IEBC commissioner Dr. Roslyn Akombe. Alikuwa ameandika, I saw this story of the former CJ resisting request to give fare to those attending his town hall in Mombasa, prompting a no to handouts chant. Things are changing. So when I saw this, of course, this is a good thing. Then kuna msali alikuwa ameandika, don't be fooled. If anything, very little is changing. The so-called middle class is in big slumber. Gen Zs, on the other hand, have been scattered and scattered in many different directions by forces working to preserve the status quo. They are now disoriented proper. Then kuna mtu ameandika, safari ni badu. Yes, fair will continue for a very long time. When Matiang'i says, I was the CS interior, we all thought that hongo ya 50 will end. Instead, they employed youths to be collecting the bribes on their behalf. So, of course, nikisikia story ya no to handouts, I'm happy because I think this is one of the things that Kenyans find really tricky, that we need to move away from this handouts thing because in the long run, it doesn't help us. And when you tell people that, of course, wase wagawana katsika. But still, as we move away from the handouts, we have to understand why the handouts work. And why do they work? They work because of abject poverty. And sometimes you can be so successful that you forget where you came from. And by talking about forgetting where you came from, I'll talk specifically about 3 top lawyers in Kenya. Number 1 lawyer, DBK. Number 2, Ahmed Nasir. Alafu number 3 sasa, Nelson Havi. Nenda kucheza clip ya Nelson Havi. But I've seen posts za DBK and Ahmed Nasir talking about hawkers in a very condescending manner. And what they forget is the 2 of them grew up in poverty. And one thing about success is, yes, success is because of hard work, but there's also an element of luck in success. That's the reason why you'll find people who are very good in academics who never make it in life. And people who are even till now, I'm sure they are better footballers than Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, somewhere in this world, but they got born in the wrong country. So that happens. So we always forget the element of luck. When it comes to success, we always attribute success purely to our hard work. It's because I worked hard. It's because I worked hard. But no, sometimes it's because of luck. Like you are at the right place at the right time. And the reason why nabonga jaivo, ni Nelson Havi here was putting across a very good point, but still he put it away, ali put across in a very elitist way. Wacha tumsikize.
Governance. You understand?
Science of good governance.
Yeah. So it can never be that a choice is made by the voter on account of what they call siasa politics. If the choice does not translate to good governance, then it's a foolish choice. And what makes people to arrive at foolish choices? People arrive at foolish choices because they fail to differentiate between their needs and wants.
Okay.
So that when they see me asking them to vote for Maraga or to vote for myself, their basic needs, food,
Come first.
employment, and related personal needs cloud their mind insofar as the immediate need is concerned.
Employment is not a basic need. I think food is, shelter, clothing. Employment is not. Employment is a long-term need. And if you're asking for my vote, I need you to show me how you're going to get me employed and how you're going to make sure that I can put food on my table. So I think, I don't know what Nane can try put across hapo, but I don't agree with that point. But wacha tuendele.
The immediate need is concerned. The immediate need when you see me or Maraga
Yes.
is not food and employment for you. The immediate need is good governance.
So that's the point nilikuwa nasema. My immediate need is not good governance. My immediate need, food is very important. Because I think, I don't know where I had this, but kuna mtu alikuwa anasema juu ya vile, I think ni ile podcast tulifanya na Fares, ilikuwa mimi, Sajid na Fares, and Fares was talking about the fact that a Kenyan president or governor will come like, let's create this road, although that hospital does not have medicine, wacha tubuildi barabara, but then watu wanakufa, then hakuna mtu wa kutumia hiyo barabara. So sometimes the immediate need, something like food, is very important. So the reason why you can dismiss it is because you are in quote successful. So you don't understand that there are a lot of Kenyans who sleep hungry. And apart from that pia, one of the things ile mtu unotice ukiwa out there ni unanoticigi like Kenyans are smaller than other people. Why? Because even the meals that we have very little protein. So inakuwaga ni kiugali kinatushana hivi na kanyama kadogo hivi. So of course very little protein. So if you come to building your body, what ends up happening? We don't grow as big as we are supposed to. If our meals were more protein based, but upon me digress, let's just go back to food. Food is a very important thing, but I understand you as Maraga or you as Nelson Havi telling me, yes, I can't provide food for you, but what you should promise me is employment. Don't say that you can't also promise me employment. And by employment, I don't mean that I'll be employed, but you're going to create an environment where I can self-employ myself. So I felt like this was very dismissive and very inasemekani tone deaf from Nelson Havi, because our lawyers, don't forget, a lot of them earn like ridiculous money. These are people who earn 10-20 million a month easy. These are ochekimseka DBK anadai county a billion, 1.3 billion. So they can't understand that food is very important. You might dismiss it and be like, don't ask me for food, don't ask me for what. Yes, don't ask Maraga for food, but you can ask Ruto for food. And then eventually you can vote Maraga in. But when you vote Maraga in, you don't want just good governance. You also want an environment that creates jobs. Because what's going to happen? Let's say tumemaliza corruption, but to create environment pia jobs as creative. Okay, that's impossible, of course, because good governance itanini. But still, the creating of jobs has to be hapo mbele. You have to be able to come in and think of new ideas, like how can we create jobs here, and come up with those things. So yes, I felt like that was a little bit dismissive. And talking of dismissive, I think one of the videos pia nilikuwa nimereact to on Saturday ilikuwa ni stories za Elon Musk and the fact that he was called out na Sky News. Walido a whole report about how Democrats named him. Ama the documents from Democrats because zinaonyesha that he was one of the people who had been invited to Epstein's island. And so alibaki reply. So Sky News walikuwa wameandika Elon Musk and Prince Andrew named in latest Epstein files release. Alafu Elon Musk akabaki reply akasema, shame on Sky News for this utterly misleading headline. Anyone pushing this false narrative deserves complete contempt. Contempt, that is. Alafu ikakuwa ni Epstein tried to get me to go to his island and I refused. Yet they named me even before Prince Andrew, who did visit. Yes, so ilikuwa hiyo. And of course Elon tunamkumbuka, he went on a rant ile time alikuwa amekosana na Trump juu ya hii story. And that's the reason why even with my reaction kwa nasema, as much as I don't like the guy, I don't think he actually went to the island. Because nakumbuka the note itself was to remind to call Elon, alafu watry ku invite Elon to Sky News, unajua, yeah, yani to Epstein Island. So there was that. But then of course Elon saizi, one of the things that happened with him is as soon as alibaki ameenda hii side ingine ya Trump, alienda up lose like a significant chunk of his people and even his customers. So ukienda through the comments utabaki umecheki, kuna msee alikuwa ameandika ni Franklin the pump.fun guy commented, so it's just a coincidence that both you have a pic with Ghislaine Maxwell and that Jeffrey Epstein invited you to his island. What are the odds? Then ikakuwa laughing my ass out. Then kuna hiyo picha yake ya Elon Musk wakiwa na ule mother. Kuzu mother ndio nasemekana amekuwa kisnitch. Yani amekuwa kisema that was like one of the things that she did to not go to maximum security and also to get like some form of reduced sentence. So yeah, this was interesting to see. And bado muwandaga like these people, man, you have all this money in this world, in the world that is, and somehow you decide that unaenda kuwa mtu wa kufanya macrime zingine za kipumbavu. Then ilikuwa like of course wase pia wakashare ile file yake ya kitambo, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the reason they've not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Then I can mark this post for the future. The truth will come out, of course. Yeah, but this is the post that makes me believe that this guy actually didn't visit the island. Otherwise angekuwa this confident akitry to call out Donald Trump. Yeah, so there was that. But apart from that, yeah, nimekuwa nikicheki few photos that you see online and you just get depressed. So kuna hii photo moja nilicheki, ilikuwa ni Honorable Beatrice Adagala, alafu ilikuwa ni for Governor Vihiga County, ilikuwa ni 2028, alafu wamepatia na 120 kgs. And remember what I was talking about, ile kikam to food as a basic need. So nikicheki kitu kama hii, alafu I think about 120 kilograms of rice for a rural family, for example, this is enough to last them for a very long time. Let's say even if waamue, which is impossible because Kenya tukulagi rice kila siku, but waamue na consume 1 kg per day, this would still last them for a third of a year. Yes, for 4 months. So you can try and imagine how much support this woman is going to get based on this, because there's going to be that poor woman who for 4 months atakuwa kijua that at least there's some food in the house. Is it a balanced diet? No, but I think when you're that poor, you don't care if the diet is balanced. Inakuwaga tu ni at least tumekula na tukabaki tumelala. So yes, I know this is very demeaning, especially for people when they take this and you have to carry it on your head. Of course, for the people carrying it also, it's not demeaning. They are very happy. You see them with smiles on their faces and they're ready to take photos. But for us, wale neza sema tuko privileged, tunaona hiyo, tunaona aibu, tuko like, damn, what's up with that? Look at how they are being disrespected. But I think that is also a very elitist way of looking at stuff. So this is both sad, but I'm still happy for the people who are going to receive, you know. And the sad part is this money is not free. At some point, this money is going to be recovered through some inflated budgets, governorship or something like that. And of course, that one I still can't blame the citizens. You have to blame the system, because the system needs to come up with a way that even if a politician uses all his wealth to get political office should not guarantee that he's going to get their money back. Nacheki, inafaa ukitry kurecover pesa yako unaenda jela. Before you know it, people would be competing based on ideas, not based on who can end up bribing the voters. So tukitoka hapo, there is this nilicheki jo, and this was a very good quote. The quote ilikuwa, the blueprint is believing in yourself, the cheat code is discipline and consistency, and the truth is nobody's coming to save you. And I actually believe in that. Like, the blueprint is believing in yourself. We live in a world where if you don't believe in yourself, and especially because online exists, people are going to beat you into submission, najua. And utaingia pale and someone is going to disrespect you and tell you the way you don't know what you're doing. So yes, the blueprint is believing in yourself. You have to start there. Then the cheat code is discipline and consistency. And I think this is the hardest part ikikamigi to everything. Discipline and consistency. Because discipline is what? Discipline is ausemaga being able to do something even when you don't feel like doing it. And this is super hard. Unapataga, this is hard, especially kikam to doing your own thing. Like when you decide, like, you know what, I want to do this thing and I want to do it as my inaweza kuwa ni side hustle or as my new venture. And there are days you're going to wake up and you don't want to do it, but you still have to do it. That's the discipline. And then the consistency. The consistency is, even when you're not seeing results, you still have to show up. You still have to just keep grinding and keep doing the same thing, even when you don't see the results. So there's also that part. Alafu pia ilikuwa ni the truth is nobody's coming to save you. Yes, I always feel like sometimes with life sukamigi tuna get entitled. And how do we get entitled? We get entitled either to our friends ama family, unajua ile like you expect them to always be there for you, and life doesn't work that way. Yes, I think ni kuna line moja mupendaka sana kuquote ya Exhibit, ilikuwa kwa ngoma inaitwa At the Speed of Life, and ilikuwa inaonyesha vile life waga tricky. Like you might look at two people and these two people are struggling, but their struggles are super different, nacheki. And I think hiyo kitu inakuwaga like, I think I really loved this line ile I think yaulizaga hapo at the end, yaulizaga like, who do you picture when you think about struggling? Kids in the bed, no food, stomach bubbling, or niggas in the E-class, heavy drug smuggling? Cause umtu iko kwa bed analala, yes, ana struggle, ana food, but this other dude in the Benz trying to sell hizi vitu zake, pia kishikwa jela, he's risking, unajua he's struggling to get to the level that he's trying to get to. So with that in mind, I think that we should never be entitled. Kuna certain level of entitlement that we all have of the black tax, and if it's not the black tax, because I remember like kuna story fulani mse fulani tupatia where because of black tax ilibidi ende aokole like brother-in-law wake, and it was strictly because of black tax. And he was there wondering like, why have I gotten myself into this? And because of kutry kusaidia brother-in-law wake, akaenda pia mwenyewe akiwa na like a debt, cause alikuwa anatumia gari yake kwenda kuokoa mse, so he ended up with a bill of over 100k cause ali get involved in some form of accident. So you look at all that, and yeah, let's not, entitlement inakuwaga a mother father, najua like entitlement is a mother father. That's one of the things that Elon back nimesema. So yes, I really loved this quote. Which other quote did I see? Najua kuna zile quote msewa naga online and you decide like, damn, this is a really good one. I think another good one ilikuwa ni, comfort is the enemy of growth, get uncomfortable. And yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. And if you're employed, another very good one ile nilicheki ya employed ni, I'm humble enough to know I'm replaceable at work, but I'm confident enough to know that it would take 4 people. This is when you are really good at your shit. When you're good at your shit, mtu juaga like, yes, utani replace, but it's going to take 4 people to do what I used to do as one person. So if you find yourself in the corporate world, because there's always this bullshit, the reason why squagging me retu msaitwa Demon Dash, because Demon Dash wagana ujinga, you have to be a boss, you have to be a boss, and you don't have to be. I always look at life and say there's no one way to live. Other people, there's a cheeky, I always give the example of Ndegwa. That Ndegwa guy, I think nasemekanaga anapataga ni over 20 million per month. He's employed. He has to wake up every day, Monday to Friday. For 20 million a month, yes, I'll wake up, and I'll wake up with a smile on my face. This story that you have to somehow be a boss, it's nonsense. So, yeah, so kama uko kwa 9 to 5, this is a good quote. I'm humble enough to know that I'm replaceable at work, but confident enough to know that it would take 4 people. Because yes, that's another thing, when you're young, you'll think you're not replaceable. Unapataga like someone in his 20s, unabaki umeingia kwa kampuni fulani, you're doing your thing, and you think you're irreplaceable. Then unapataka dem fulani kama kuja na matako kubwa, she's not even what unaweza fanya, but uzachujwa na matako kubwa atakuwa hapo, but the staff there are still going to get a way to make sure that her ass balances and kazi na continue hata bila wewe. So yes, your story are replaceable, that was Nini. But yes, comfort is the enemy of growth. Yes, get uncomfortable. And which other quote did I see? Okay, but those are a few of the quotes ile nimecheki, and a few quotes maybe to start your week, man. It's another new week, and the sad thing is October is here, man. Like, October is here, but the good thing is kesho, the 29th, voter registration inaanza. So this is the time for you to ask yourself, how bad do you want Ruto to go? Yes, I think that's the other question ile lazima watu wajiulize, like how bad do you want this guy to go, because it's one thing ku scream Ruto must go blah blah blah, but have you registered to vote? So how bad do you want this guy to go? Because nikimalizia hata nicheki, ilikuwa ni the Sunday Standard ya leo, ilikuwa ni King of Double Talk, then ikakuwa President William Ruto's speech at the UN dripped with lofty ideals: peace in Sudan, justice in Gaza, financial freedom for Africa, and security in Haiti. But back home, his government props up Sudan's RSF, drowns in IMF debt, brutalizes Gen Z protesters, and lets gangs run riot in Nairobi while stalling clean energy projects. The irony is as glaring as it is damning. A leader who thunders abroad yet falters at home. So yeah, that was something. And lafu kwa meanwhile at home, Sudan preaching peace but backing war. At the UN General Assembly, Ruto condemned the Sudan war, urging dialogue and unity while rejecting interference. Yet back home, his government hosted the RSF in Nairobi. Then kwa financial freedom versus IMF dependence. Ruto blasted the IMF and World Bank for punishing Africa with harsh loan conditions. But the very next day, IMF officials landed in Nairobi to negotiate a fresh bailout. Then ikakuwa human rights, Gaza versus Gen Z clampdown. Ruto decried civilian suffering in Gaza, insisting human rights must never be applied selectively, yet his own government unleashed deadly crackdown on Gen Z protesters. Nakumbuka akisema tunafaa kutandikwa risasi ya mguu moja. Then pia ikakuwa security, peace in Haiti, lawlessness in Nairobi. Ruto celebrated Kenyan role in restoring order in gang-ridden Haiti. Meanwhile, Nairobi reels under rising kidnappings, abductions of activists and gangs. Yes, and the gangs are still katikati ya CBD, snatching phones and threatening people with shit. Nacheki. Alafu clean energy versus dam scandal. Then ikakuwa Ruto showcased Kenya as a continental leader in renewable energy at the UN, but his government cancelled the 337 billion Grand Falls Dam project only to re-award it. Yes, I think Grand Falls nile walikuwa, I think tulibongana na hii story bwetu wa Herman Kamariki. Kuna bonga juu story ile they wanna cancel ndio patie msee mwingine, because it's 337 billion, so there's money to be made. So it's all about corruption. So that's what's really messed up about nchi. But vile nimesema jo, kesho ni siku ya kwanza kuregister to vote. So una need kuchange polling station ama nini, do it by the end of this week, because yes, let's do it as quickly as possible and then see. And as I've kept saying this during the protest last year, and I'm going to say right now, and what I'm saying is occupy a polling station. So kesho ni siku ya kwanza occupy a polling station. That means you need to go out there, register. If you need to switch your polling station, this is the time to do that. Iko Nini.